Now, what are you guys up to over there?
Peekaboo! Hi, Sam. Hi. It's time now to see what's happening with our eco house. Now, last week we got out on the site to see where the house will eventually stand.
And today we're talking to architect Darren Hunter about some of the details of the house, in particular the impressive windows that will help keep the building cool in summer and warm in winter. Hi Darren. Hey look, I reckon we get straight to your video footage because it's quite impressive and explains it really well visually.
Okay. Yep.
What are we looking at here, mate?
Okay, well this is done with a computer. It's showing the sunlight coming into the house in the summertime, so middle of summer. You'll see the sun rising. It's starting to show a little bit on the floor at the front of the property. The idea is to keep the sun out of the house in the summer because obviously it'll heat up too much.
You've got shades there, haven't you?
Yep. Now in winter time, this is obviously, the sun hasn't risen yet, but you'll see the sun penetrating very, very deeply into the house. Now look at that, it's warming up the house, the concrete's warming up, the fireplace is warming up, and it's absorbing that heat and retaining it inside the house.
Great. How do you do this? How do you achieve all this?
The sunlight studies are done on a computer, but ultimately a lot of glass on the north face and a lot of concrete on the inside to store the heat.
Come on, does it really work storing the heat?
It does really work.
Yeah.
It does really work. The windows are a really big part of it, and they have to be done properly.
Let's look at the windows because...
Can you look at mine first, because they're heavy?
No, you just wait. This is the double glazing.
This is the double glazing unit. Now, for the eco house, we had two options for the windows. We had aluminium, which is obviously the sample here, but also a traditional product being timber. Now, timber windows typically, everyone would probably know, is that what a window looks like.
Yes.
Not a lot of room to get double glazing in, so we've gone to a more high-tech product. The aluminium, this one here in particular, needs to be quite wide across here to get the double glazing in. As you can see, two sheets of glass and an air gap in the middle.
And if we wanted to bolster it up, what could we go to?
Well, double glazing's only just become mandatory in New Zealand in the last few years. We go from that little puppy to this double glaze. That's the double glaze.
Wow.
So now this one is a new product by Metro. There's actually a gas inside the panel. Now what that does, that makes the window even more efficient. So the gas is pumped into the panel, sealed up. The gas can't leak out, it's not poisonous or anything, but it makes that window more efficient than a standard double glaze. And then you want the Rolls Royce, you go to this little number here. This is triple glazing.
Yes.
Very much in use in Europe. 3 pieces of glass, but the problem with this is that you need a really big frame to hold something as grunty as that. So you imagine that fitting into a frame of that size.
So you would have to go aluminium. And really, wouldn't you?
This can only be adapted into aluminium by spending a lot more on the aluminium. And therefore, sometimes it becomes cost prohibitive.
So wood.
So we've gone for wood because we've got this new product. It's German technology. Reynolds doors from the Wairarapa have come on board. They've got the tooling equipment. They've spent the best part of $2 million developing this German system for New Zealand.
That's great.
Now this window can take a triple glaze unit. Okay. But the other beauty of this is if April opens the window...
Oh, she's locked us
out. It's got a safety catch. It's really good.
The great thing about this German technology, it's got multiple locking. Now, everyone knows old timber joinery was drafty and it was rattly and a bit noisy. This stuff has got multiple lockings there and there, so when on a stormy night, you lock the thing, no one can get in.
That is so sturdy. Multiple
insulation, so there's the rubbers there, and there's also more rubbers inside the frame. So it's not your traditional timber windows, it's the Rolls Royce of timbered windows.
And does it have to be painted or can you get that natural effect?
You can get a natural finish. We've chosen to use a paint finish in our eco home. All this panelling around the outside is actually not the cladding for our eco home, this is more of just a mock-up to show the window. So we're using the best products available from Reynolds.
And look, just quickly, I want to know a little bit of the science. Obviously the heat comes in and allows it to heat up on the walls, but why can't it just flow straight back out again?
The idea of the eco house is to keep that heat in the house.
But in the windows.
The double glazing helps. So, as an example, say it's 0 degrees outside and 20 inside. The double glazing balances that. So it could be 10 degrees in the middle. So in real simple terms, it's instead of being 0 straight to 20,
it's a little buffer.
It's a buffer. So if you can imagine, if you've got 2 bits of glass, not as good as 3 bits of glass. The gas in the middle restricts the amount of cold air that can transmit through there.
And it's all about no bills, right?
There's no bills.
I love it. I love it.
You love that part, don't you? And these are tint. Now, does that play any part in dealing with the heat transfer and stuff like that?
The tint helps stop the UV. The UV is the harmful rays, fades the furniture, destroys the carpets. In this instance, we've got a tint. We've also got like I say, it's a Rolls-Royce product. There's actually a film on here also. Now it's called low E, in other words, at low emission, so it blocks the nasties getting into the house, allows the heat to come in, but it won't allow the UV to get in and ruin the furniture.
Wicked. It sounds amazing, mate, and thanks for coming on and talking about it.
No problem.
Look forward to the next stage in our development of our no-build house.
Good.
Right, if you'd have any questions about our Eco House or anything else for that matter, send us a message on Facebook at Choice TV Brunch, and Josh will have all the answers for you next week.
Hopefully. Well, that's our show. We'll see you tomorrow.